Today, as a sort of follow-up to my previous video, I've fitted new speakers to the front of my Chevrolet Matiz 2009 model, and today we're going to replace the rear speakers. After a bit of inspection of the rear speakers, found out that they're, unlike the front ones are 4-inch round, these are 4-inch by 6-inch, or I believe 10 by 15 centimeters approximately, oval shaped ones. Got these replacements, same Pioneer TS-A4670F model. A little bit more expensive actually than the round ones. These ended up costing nearer to, I think, £50 UK pounds. They look reasonable specification, very similar in style to the other ones. I've got some sort of fitting instructions and stuff here, so I should be fitting these in place of the ones that came on the Matiz. So before we begin here, we've got to remove the speakers from the car, and for that there seems to be, I think there's 3 screws. You'll probably see when I reassemble it where those are. One is, point to them with the screwdriver over here. You've got to move the seat back forward over here, so I've had to release that and push that forward to access that one. That actually goes through a bit of trim there as well. Then we've got down here this one, and up here this one. And after removing those and disconnecting the speaker wires, you should quite easily be able to remove the speakers. Onto the next bit, I'll probably go inside for that. So I found it easier to physically remove the whole speaker mounts from the rear of the Matiz, as you sort of saw earlier. I'll try and show these being refitted afterwards. So got the rear mounts here, and you can see inside we've got the speaker. So I'm going to remove this speaker here, and then I'll replace it with one of the Pioneer ones, which I'll show you in a minute. So for fitting these speakers, I'm going to use a very modest set of tools. We've got some screwdrivers, a sort of flathead, a crosshead, and a slightly larger crosshead here. Those are for removing the screws that fit the unit into the back of the Matiz, as you saw earlier, and also for fixing screws for the speakers. I've also got my little crimp set here, because undoubtedly we're going to have to crimp on some spades onto the wiring adapter that comes here. So these will fit onto the speaker, and then I'll put some spades on the end of these, which will ultimately fit into the adapter that's in the speakers plugged into in the Matiz, which you probably saw earlier. Now the speakers themselves, these Pioneer ones, are quite nice, very nice looking. They come with this sort of oval spacer. There's no grills with these. They're going to fit behind the OEM grills in this case, unlike the previous ones which we fitted with the Matiz grills. These also have 4 corner fixings here, and they also come with this sort of variable adapter thing. So we'll see what choice is best for these. So first of all, I'm gonna, probably won't video it, but I'm going to unscrew this speaker, and then I'll work out the best what's best for the Pioneer one to be fitted back in its place. So if you just bear with me, I'll undo these screws. So there we go, undone the 4 screws, so the old speakers lift out, rather dusty looking. Probably give this a little bit of a dusting down and clean as well. 4 screws removed, and then we're going to replace this speaker. There was some bits of fluff in there. Get rid of those. Blow out those little bits of polystyrene. And these speakers here, now let me just work out which way around these goes. They're going to go probably that way around in the car, in the vehicle, because we've got the shelving unit that goes in there. So I'll fit these speakers in. Let's see now. Let's try and see how this sits in there. Might need to use the adapter or something. Now, you can see the screw holes on the corners don't quite line up here, so let's see what's the best thing. I wonder if this adapter, the adapter plate, has any holes that line up better. Let's have a look. It's not really. I have to have a little bit of a fiddle, but this doesn't look like the adapter plate's going to be much use either. So yeah, it's gonna, without cutting it up or something, and it looks, yeah, rather awkward. So just bear with me. I'll work something out, and I'll show you how I get these speakers fitted. Okay, so after a fair bit of fiddling around, trying various positions and things, I think I found the best seating for this speaker is actually just going to be holding it with just two of the original fixing screws onto those two. Unfortunately, those don't align, and as far as I can feel around here, there's nothing then impeding the speaker itself. It fits fairly well into the little gap, and so we'll try pushing the speaker in and out. It doesn't seem to rattle against anything there, so I'll go with this. I'll put the screws back in and I'll show you what that looks like. So there we go, that does it. As you can see here, I've only affixed these speakers on the two corners, carefully angled it, worked out the best angle. Well, you don't have much choice of those two corners, and I've done the other speaker as well for the other side. Very much the same process, just screwed in on the two opposing corners there. I'm hoping that'll hold okay. Can't see any reason why they won't hold. They feel pretty solid enough, and hope they don't shake themselves loose or something. And I hope that the speaker itself is unimpeded against the it's not quite oval into the original shape aperture, but we'll see what happens. Otherwise, I may have to try and use one of the adapters, so that at the moment these adapters are going to be discarded, and the spacer as well. I couldn't do anything with the spacers or the adapters at all. If this doesn't work or sounds terrible at the end of the day, then I'll reconsider. I have to dismantle and reconsider. So next job is I'm going to take the two sets of cables. I'm going to put the spade crimps on these, and then I'll go and refit these back into the car. So I'm going to wire on these crimps. I've used blue and red ones. They're actually both identical in size. Actually, maybe the cable fittings are different size. Maybe these ones are a bit smaller actually in terms of cable. Actually, I might go all red ones because they're probably a better crimp fit, which I'll do. So I'll discard those. So I've got the wire strippers. I'll use those to strip the ends of the cables. Very easy. Just insert the cable to the appropriate length, and give it a strip, and it strips them. And then once I feed the crimps on, these have got a colour coded crimp, so we just put it around the crimp thing and give it a good old shove, and I'll crimp those on. So there we go, crimped on the spade connectors on the ends here. Not the neatest jobs in the world, they're nice and secure. I've checked continuity and resistance. They're good solid connections, and practically zero resistance. They're good to go, I reckon. Go and put these, try and fit them back in the car. It's probably dark outside now, but I'll see what I can video anyway. So here we are, back at the Matiz. If you recall, we removed the things, one from over there, quite a bright light actually, one from over there. So I'll just offer these up and get them refitted into their original positions. I believe this is that side, goes that way around. Yeah, we'll have to just pull a piece of this trim forward to fit them in there. There's the original adapters that my spades will fit into, and I will use the I'll have to look up the colour coding actually, or work out which of these was the smallest for the negative and the positive. I'll let you know which those are. It's probably a bit obvious actually from the video, but it's not obvious from where I'm looking here. So let me offer these up, get them fitted in, and I'll show you what it looks like. Well, lesson learned, before we refit these, easy to put the cables on these and on there. Actually, I've sort of fitted them, then took them out when I realised I was getting in a pickle, couldn't work out what wires I was going to put. So the thin one, or the black stripe one, smaller connector there, is going to be the negative, and that's got to go to the negative on the original speaker, which I brought back out, which is at the perpendicular angle in the connector. So that'll be that one on the left nearest the clip, that'll be the negative, and the one on the left there will be the positive. So that shall be the way I connect them, and I'll connect these up before I refit the things back in. So again, before I refit these, the black stripy one is the negative, so I've put the spades into there. Don't think they need any sealing, they're not that brilliantly tight, but they should hold. I'll give them a good old shove back in, and that should do. Might wrap a bit of tape around them if those stop coming loose, but I'll fit these back up now. I'll fit that one over there, and I'll fit them back up and show you what that's like. There we go, both speakers. Oh, nice. I haven't even tightened those ones up, have I? I'll tighten these ones up again. Very hard to see in the dark, sorry for the light. There's one up there, one on the tab in there, and then the other larger one that goes through the trim panel there.